Good morning, Edward. Good morning, Edward. How you doing this morning, everybody? Edward, good to see you. Well, good to hear from you. Not good to see you. Thanks for showing up. Hey, Justin. Brenda. Well, I'm hanging in here, Edward. You know, every day gets a little tougher, a little harder because the age thing is catching up on me. But is what it is. Try to survive. But I'm looking out at my yard because now the snow's gone, and I'm looking at all this yard work that needs to be done. I just can't do it. You know, it's just don't know. I need to get my zero turn out, and I don't know if I can get it started. It's been in the garage, but
What's up, Paul?
hey, how you doing?
Good.
How'd the school bus run do today?
Oh, it's going fine.
So your kids are all pretty well behaved?
Yeah, I don't have any issues with them.
Good.
They're all fucking terrified of me anyway when I get mad. So worry about it. I'm telling you, these kids, they're a whole different attitude when they're with somebody that's twice their size and looks like it'd knock them a new one than they are with a woman that's 5'2" and 100 pounds, and they're not anywhere remotely
So you
afraid of
you've
her.
you've seen the disrespect the kids give towards the like the
And
female.
I'll tell you what, the same ones that are I'm told that do that when they're with me, not a peep out of them. I'll tell you that right now.
Good. That's good that you can keep control.
Like I said, it's the thing is they're not. There's a difference between a almost 6'2", 240 pound man standing in front of them versus a 5'2", 100 pound woman.
Yep.
They're not intimidated by that. A lot of the kids are not intimidated, no matter how big and bad or attitude the woman has. They just aren't intimidated by it.
Right.
So, but I've had a tons of kids that only ride my bus one time a day. Like they either ride in the morning or the evening.
Yeah.
And the other bus that takes them out the other part of the day, they'll tell me, oh, yeah, they're always cussing, making a big fuss. I don't have that problem with them. That's just what I'll tell them. I don't hear a peep out of them.
Now, how long are they on the bus? In other words, I know it's different because of the drop points, but what's the longest a kid can be on your bus as far as for a ride?
Well, the longest one is what's up, everybody in the chat? Give me a sec. I'll pull it up. The longest person on my bus, probably from 145. They get on their first bus when they get off in the afternoon and transfer. They don't get off till about 4:40.
Okay, so they're it's like 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah, some of the kids stay on the bus. Some of the kids will have a 2 or 3 bus transfers before they get home.
Wow.
But the kids are choosing to do that, right? Because they have school choice in Florida. They allow students to choose where they want to go to school.
Oh, so in
Um,
other words, if it wasn't school of choice, they'd be sent to the closest school that could educate them, right?
right. Just like in Florida, people try to argue, and I've heard people try to argue that are from Florida. Oh, well, they really need to fund schools in lower income areas because if you're from a rich area, your school gets more. And that's not true. In Florida, schools are equally funded across the board. It doesn't matter the location of the school. Everybody gets the same amount of money.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter if your school's in a low income area or a high income area, you're going to get the same amount of money. It's actually a law in Florida.
Edward says you're the enforcer.
What's up, Edward, Brenda, Ed? Like I said, and this is the thing is some of these kids that other bus drivers have complained about, I've never even had to talk to. Like they just get on the bus, they see me, they're like, all right, I'm not fucking with this dude. At least that's what I'm assuming is going through their head. So, because like I said, I've had these little short, older women that are bus attendants, and they get on there and they're like, yeah, that kid is so bad. I'm always having problems with him. How's he in the afternoon on your bus? Fine, doesn't say a word. I
Probably
think
surprises the hell out of them, huh?
oh, I had one kid the very first day I ever got on the bus. He looked at me, he goes, "You're big." He goes, "Normally it's some old little short woman." That's what he said. That's exactly what he said to me. He just goes, we almost never have a guy as an attendant. He goes, it's always some older short woman. Well,
That's funny.
Which is that the guys they're having problems with, they don't have problems with you.
I'm saying, like, I've had other bus drivers and attendants complain about because some of the kids will ride our morning bus and not our afternoon, or vice versa.
Right.
And so I've had the other buses that take those kids at different times come to me and say, "Oh, have you had a problem with such and such student because he's a terror on my bus?" No, he gets on the bus, shuts the hell up, and is quiet the whole time. And I've never had to
Because you
talk to
look,
the kid.
that's because you look like an asshole.
Which is
So
fine
you
with
look at
me.
him and say, I ain't messing with him.
Like I said, which is fine with me. I don't have problems with any of my students. So the couple of times I've had problems, I've raised my voice, and they haven't messed with me since. So
That's all it counts. You take control. Yep, take control. We're flying
like
tomorrow. We're not flying today.
Oh, flying tomorrow. Okay.
So that means later today I still don't even know when the freaking boys basketball banquet is. You have to ask Allison. I didn't do the every year for the last 3 years I've been shooting the all-star soccer game for the state.
Yeah.
I didn't shoot it. I didn't get it this year. And I'm glad I didn't get it because it wasn't here. It was in Lafayette, Louisiana. They moved
Oh,
it to a
wow.
different school.
What,
So they got a photographer over there to do it.
how long,
I'm glad I didn't have to
how
drive.
far a trip would that have been for you?
About 160 miles.
Oh, wow.
Now the good news is I'd have been where I buy the boot down all the time. I could have loaded up.
Oh, yeah.
But the bad news, I had to drive. Yeah, I am so, and then it was on a parade day anyway. I knew it was going to conflict this year.
Oh, dude, that tornado in Orlando tore up like 5 or 6 houses pretty good, leveled one.
That isn't anywhere near Brenda, I don't think, is it?
No, it
No.
was in Orlando near, that was closer to
That's
me.
up northwest, right?
Yeah,
Middle.
no, northeast. It'd be northeastern area.
But Orlando's in the middle of the state.
Yeah, it's more, I would say it's closer to the East Coast than it is the West Coast. But that's only about 45 minutes from me. But yeah, it tore up like 4 or 5 houses and it leveled one house on the video I saw. I don't know about any other. They just showed the one area, but the one house got like everybody else's house got a little jacked up on the roofs and stuff. Not too bad.
Yeah.
It probably could still be in the house, but there was one house right in the middle of the neighborhood that just got completely leveled. There's nothing but rubble.
Yep.
Let's hope they have insurance.
Well, they got insurance. You gotta have insurance unless you own it outright.
Yeah, it was a pretty new looking neighborhood too, so I don't know. But housing insurance is a pain in the ass in Florida, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So,
They're everywhere.
yeah, but I would say here it's probably, well, even in your state, it's wherever there's a lot of natural disasters.
Hurricanes. Yep.
Like there's some states that don't deal with natural disasters regularly, so it's not as bad, but places like California with the wildfires, here with the hurricanes, like where Joe's at with the flooding,
Yeah.
the constant flooding all the time. Yeah, that can make a pain in the ass to get. Insurance companies are being real dickheads in those areas.
If I get the
This-
posters in early enough today, I'll go to North Shore today. This afternoon at practice and give them to them. Now I'll be doing that tomorrow. Hopefully they're still gonna be here today. It's 2 different shipments. That's the problem. I'm gonna wait till I get both.
Well, Brenda says she's paying $3,000 a year.
Yeah, ironically, it's funny, when I bought the house, my insurance, when we first bought the house for the whole year, was $160
For the whole year?
here. For the whole year.
Jesus.
When I bought it here back in 2000.
I don't know.
When,
3,000 divided by 12 is what? I can't think right now.
about 12, looking at about 2 something.
I
2
mean,
something a month.
I guess that's not completely unaffordable, but I mean,
Yeah, it was 160 for the whole year back then. I'm paying 160 just for the apartment here.
because there was some people in California that said they weren't wanting three or $4,000 a month.
Oh yeah, they're doing that in California.
Like there was that one family that got quoted like 40,000 a year or something. It come out to like almost, or it was like almost 5,000 a month or something. And they were like, we can't afford that. That's like way too much. You know, they were just living in a modest little 3-4, like a little 3-bedroom house, you know, with their family. Wasn't like it was a multi-million-dollar home, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we had one claim in the second year on insurance when the water heater leaked all over the floor. They had to pull it all up. And that claim, we went from the first year was like 160, second year was like 280. And it was easy. We put it out of pocket because they wanted to know, we wanted to know the loan in the beginning. I said, no. You know, so the third year after the claim, it went up to like $900. And I think it was 2 years later when she didn't decided not to pay for the house and didn't tell me and lost the house. That was during the divorce. If she'd have told me, I'd have said, go get an apartment, I'll take the house. And because I got the apartment, I could have had the house to say the apartment was more money in rent than the house cost in the payment. That's what got me. And then she wound up moving into an apartment anyway afterwards. She should have just moved into the apartment. But the rent, the thing went up when it was like 5 years after we got the house. It went from 162 the first year to about 1,700.
What's up, Laura? Well, that's the thing too, is like around here, on a
Hey,
lot of
John.
places, it used to be a lot cheaper to buy a house and pay a mortgage every month than it was to rent. But now it's not much difference between a monthly mortgage and renting a house. It's only like a
Yeah.
couple $100 difference. It used to be, you might pay a $500 a month mortgage, but it might be $1,200 to rent a house. Now it's like
You know,
1,800, and it might be 2,000 to rent a
yeah.
house.
Well, the only way I'm going to buy a house, because I was going to buy one a few years ago, and I almost did. I should have, but I backed myself out of it, and it would have been reasonable back then. But the only way I'm going to buy a house now is if I can pay cash.
Just like apartments used to be a lot cheaper than renting a house, and that's what made apartments attractive to some people. You
Yeah,
kind of
apartments are expensive right now.
would give up the being having a yard and a little bit more privacy and all that, but you used to pay a lot less. Now, dude, around here, a 2-3 bedroom apartment is just as much as a 2-3 bedroom house. If not, in some places, the apartments cost more, and I'm just like, I don't understand that.
Well, I'm in a 2 bedroom. I'm centrally located. I am so perfect where I'm at. Yeah, that's what I like about it. But if I had a house, there's houses all around here. If I had a house, I don't want to be around here because I want a bigger yard. I want to be able to go out my backyard and shoot my gun. You know what I mean? So that's why I like a country house. But
Well,
then I'd have to deal with all of cutting the grass and doing all the stuff myself. But this apartment is 1,200, almost $1,300 a month. You know,
well,
it's
that's what I'm
ridiculous.
saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. Around here, a 3 bedroom apartment's only like $100
Wait,
cheaper. Sometimes
yeah,
$100 more than it is to rent a
Don,
3 bedroom
sit,
house.
sit down,
So
sit,
it's like, I don't know why
sit,
somebody would want to live in an
sit.
apartment when they could
Well,
get a
it's still
house.
cheaper. It's still cheaper for the apartments here
Yeah.
because the last three houses that the ex-wife's been in, they've been paying 18 and 1,900 a month. You know, just for that, for 3 bedrooms.
Around here, it's about almost the same price. And sometimes certain apartment complexes that are like really nice ones will cost you a little bit more than a house. But that's
Yeah,
why I said that's what used to make apartments attractive was they were, you might pay $800 a month for a 2 bedroom apartment, but you might pay 1,400 a month for a 3 bedroom house or a two
right.
bedroom house. But that was the trade. That was the trade off of living in an apartment. You didn't have a yard. You had a little bit less privacy. You had to be a little quieter, but you saved a lot more money. But nowadays, it's really not. There's no trade off. There's really no enticement to want to go into an apartment. I don't understand why
Hello,
people
Lance.
around here move into it.
Well, Joe, you're on Laura's good list today because she told you to have a wonderful day.
Good. I don't want to be on any list. Hi, Laura. Hope you had a great day so far too.
It's like in the 70s, I think.
Loaded on delivered. Yeah, we'll see.
So did you end up ordering that thing, Paul, or what?
Yes. I was just gonna think about going over looking to see how it's going.
I'm gonna say I'd give it a if it's since it's still a little chilly there, it'll give you an idea whether it's going to work halfway decent or not.
Well, the only thing is that it's not light like a screen is, it's dark, but
Right, but
you gotta give and take, I guess, huh?
well, yeah, it's like a thermal blanket though.
That's all right though.
Well, like I
I'd
said, it'll
rather
give
have it
you.
dark than be able to see out.
But that's the thing is you'll be able to switch it out because they're both using Velcro. So in the summertime or when it's like springtime out and it's really nice outside and you don't mind having the door open and you don't have to worry about AC and all that. You can just pull that one down, put the screen back up.
It's arriving tomorrow by 10 p.m.
Just hopefully the Velcro is the same side.
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm
main-
saying, because if it's not the same side, you're gonna have to peel the other one off and put the new one on.
Hey, there's Jason.
As
Just
long as
Gentlemen,
Gentlemen, good morning. How are you?
Uh,
Joe, carry on. Good to see you guys.
you can shut up, Laura.
Mhm.
Ooh,
But no, if it's the same size, then you'll be able, then, or if it's the same side, then you'll be able to switch them out when you want to, you know?
Hey, Jason, I got something to tell you.
sir.
Son is
Send
getting
it.
ready to go on a deployment, right?
Yep.
So he had to go do all the water training yesterday.
All right.
Now, remember, he's a first lieutenant, right? So
Right.
you got to man up and do it right. So he gets out there and they show him how to do it. Now, I don't know if they did it when you were in, but now when you're on a helicopter over water, they give you a flotation device and an oxygen tank that you carry
Okay.
with you. So it's like 5 minutes of
Oh.
oxygen. In case you're underwater, you got 5 minutes to get your ass up on top. That's what it is,
Yeah.
you know?
Plenty of time.
Find a way to get out, you got 5 minutes. So they went through everything, and the first time he cleared it and did it, they said, "You've done this before." He says, "No, never done it before." He said, "Well, you did it right, did it perfect, right?" So he's got it. One time they go under with the regular cage and have to get out. Then they go under with a different cage and have to get out once. And then they go under with the big mock-up helicopter, everybody.
Right.
And they go under, and he's got 2 times to come out with the mask so he could see, and then 4 times he's got to come out with the darkened mask to pass. They got
Right.
it's 4-hour time limit for the whole class, because they can't keep him in the water more than 4 hours. When he got out the third time, he said he had a little problem on the third time getting out, but he got out. So the last time he's got to go down there, he thought he cleared it out, and he said, "All I was doing was waterboarding myself." He kept waterboarding himself, and he said he had to reach up in there to pull him out because he couldn't get the oxygen to work. So he
Interesting.
went down the second time to do it. This is for his last time he's got to do it. Did the same thing again. He couldn't clear it. Wouldn't clear. So he went down again. Couldn't clear. So 3 times, and then he said all of a sudden it cleared. I started to move. I had put my hand up. They grabbed me. He said I would have got out. He said, so now I've got to go back in and do it again. He said when he went out, he got out. They looked at the time. They had 1 minute and 28 seconds left, or he had to come back to another class.
Wow, that sucks. He must have pissed
He
somebody
made it,
else.
though.
Somebody off.
He made it though. He said I was underneath there and I realized I'm waterboarding myself because every time he think he's getting air, he's sucking in water. You know.
Right.
He said it was tough. He said that last one was tough.
Well, that's awesome that they're giving I think those are called the spare air. 5 minutes of oxygen, 5 minutes of air to get out.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you
We didn't have that.
every time when that aircraft hits the water, every second is going down like 10 feet.
Yep. I remember we did our
It's-
egress training also, and yeah, we had to do it on the breath hold.
Yeah, he told me, he said, "You did that one right." I said, "I did it, but I didn't do it like yours. We didn't have an oxygen tank."
Nope.
You better hold your breath. You know,
You had to hold your breath.
better be able to hold
Exactly.
your breath. Hey, Mark, what's up?
I mean, you got
Hey,
2
guys.
choices: breathe water or don't breathe water and escape. Right?
Yeah, that's all you do. And I tell you,
That's all
in
you
boot
do.
camp, I remember when they get in and you got to use your trousers for a flotation device and everything, and you got the rifle on and everything.
Right.
I'm down in the bottom trying to get it off. It is stuck on my boot. I can't get it off my boot, and I'm getting pissed because I couldn't get the blousing off around the boot area. So I'm underwater all the way on the bottom, and I don't know how I can do it, but I used to always do this. I could go sit at the bottom. I could do it right now. Go sit at the bottom of the pool out there, just sit, and then come up when I want. For some reason, I'm not buoyant. I go down. You know, I could go down. So I'm at the bottom of the pool, sitting at the bottom of the pool, and I'm thinking, okay, this boot's I got to do something to get this off. And I'm about to take the boot off, right? And I looked down there and I said, oh, hell with this. I grabbed the bottom of the pants, ripped them. I ripped them and got them off, and then tied it up. I actually tied the rip up underwater, and then I put it around and got up top and sucked the air in it like they tell you to do, and put it on. And the drill instructor looked over and he said, "What'd you do? Rip your pants?" I said, "Sir, yes, sir." He goes, "That was a pretty cool thing to do." He said, "I thought you were gonna try to take your boot off because they were watching, you know."
Right.
But I ripped the pants. It didn't matter. It wasn't going to matter anyway because we had bloused anyway. You wouldn't see it.
Right. No,
But I ripped that joker quick.
So, yeah, no, it's clearly it was a lot faster.
That's a lot. That's a good thing. And he said, I said, "What's it look like?" He said, "It looks like a water bottle. That's like a 20 ounce water bottle with a mouthpiece on it."
Oh, the spare air? Yeah.
Yeah. He said, "All you do is you put the thing in your mouth. It fits fully in your mouth like a mouthpiece, like football." He said,
Right.
"You blow it, you blow on it, and all the water's supposed to come out of it." He said, "But if you don't clear it right, the water stays in it, and then you suck in water, you know."
I'm updating it now, Laura.
So, but he qualified. That's all that counts. And he told me, he
24
said,
gigs.
he said, "I guarantee you though," he said, "if I'm on a helicopter that's getting ready to crash in the water," he said, "I'm gonna jump out right before it hits." He said, "He's out of that thing."
Nope. And it's
He
not gonna
won't.
happen.
He
You
won't
get
have
chopped
enough
up by
time.
if it's a helicopter, depending on where the rotors are, right?
You cut,
Get
Yeah.
chopped up.
You better hope he jumps out as it hits.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
can't
just-
stand
You're
until
better.
the
You're
rotor
better off
stops.
staying with the aircraft. You know, because I mean, if you die on impact for one, at least they know where your body's at.
It's about
You got
the
a
time
point.
they invent- It's about time they invented helicopters that floated.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, though. You'll die on impact,
Oh,
and
yeah.
know where to find you.
Laura,
Yep.
I just pulled up Epic and just started the download. It's 24
Now,
gigs.
Jason, that was purely from military, the way you said that.
Me? Yeah. Right.
That was a military response. Stay in the aircraft, and you die on impact, we'll know where to find you.
Hey, Jason, I don't know if you did it yet, but you got a 24 gig update for Fortnite.
Oh, 24 gig for real? Did you do
Which
it?
shouldn't take
Jeez.
long on your internet. Should only take about 10 minutes at the most.
No. I woke up late this morning and got ready and heading on in right now. My morning meeting.
Yeah, if you come home tonight, you should be able to get it done in about 10 minutes. Shouldn't
All
take
right.
that
Right
long.
on.
I mean, I just
Yeah.
started mine like a minute and a half ago, and I'm already at 11 gigs done. So
Nice.
That's
You
right.
know
You're
what
in
updates
Virginia
they
Beach,
added?
Virginia, right?
Yes, sir. Virginia Beach, Virginia, USA.
Yeah, USA.
Did you say 44 gigs? Just
no, 24.
24.
24. Okay. Looks like
Well,
I've
see,
got
the
to update
way-
mine.
The way that Fortnite does it is they don't keep just adding it on. It rewrites over certain parts of the game. Otherwise, fucking Fortnite would be 1,000 gigs by now. You know.
Hey, Justin, did you hear Lance just now? Jason says 24 gigs, and that's fine. Then Lance says 44 gigs? Typical Democrat trying to take more.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's not that big of an update.
You know what
I'm right at-
updates? What's being added to the game?
I don't have any idea. I'm at 15 gigs now, but it's that pre or mid chapter update.
Lance must have got
season
mad at that
update.
comment. He muted himself, or he's cursing me out one or the other.
Probably a little of both.
That's all right. I can understand. He
the
flies
above.
a Neo. I understand.
Jason,
fair-
do you
You
have a
can't coming
Neo?
out with another drone?
Do you have a
I'm sorry,
Neo?
no.
Joe? Jason, do you have a Neo?
Negative. I do not.
Because Joe recommends a Neo.
I recommend throwing it away.
To be honest, I don't think Jason flies that much that often anymore, do you?
Good
No,
morning.
I haven't.
Good.
I haven't flown in a while. At least recreationally speaking, I'll do like I've not put stuff up that I'll do for a job just because they paid for that. I don't. It feels weird for me to post stuff up that I do for a job. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
and that was the last thing I did was I think well yeah, December timeframe. Yeah, November into December. November, yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, when you're doing stuff for jobs too, you want to make sure you know the people you're doing it for are okay with you reposting it and stuff like that. And yeah, because they
Yeah,
might not
they're-
want you to repost it, you know.
Oh yeah, like yeah, I shot this one video for what do you call it? You've heard of Drone Up before?
Yes.
I'm at
Yeah.
20 gigs.
The funny thing is they it's like why don't you just I got this site and they wanted me to film them flying their drones, these package drones, right? And they're huge. But they're like, yeah, you can't post any of this up. This is all I'm like, why the hell didn't you? I mean, they paid me pretty damn good, but I was
Well,
still
because
just
they
surprised
want to
that,
use it as a promotional video. They don't want you putting it out there. Probably
yeah,
is my
exactly.
guess.
But no, for one, it's their video,
Right.
proprietary technology. They didn't want anybody else seeing what's out there. But it's more for internal use of I guess, the footage that I captured. But my thoughts are, why don't you just do it yourselves? You guys have drone pilots, but the difference between being a drone pilot and a videographer,
Yep.
because watching how
Right.
they fly, it's a huge difference. I was like, all right, I get it. And I'm not saying I'm a great videographer, but that's what they hired, and they're pretty good.
Well, you know
But-
what I've noticed, Jason, is that some people have the eye for framing and everything else, and some people don't. They just
Well, it's like when Matt was doing that video work for that movie, right? They could have just paid Matt to
Right.
do the editing, but instead they paid another guy to do the editing. And let's just say Matt was not impressed with his color grading and all that, what he
Right.
did with his footage at the end of the day. And it was like, I don't know why they just didn't pay Matt to do everything. They've seen Matt's work. That's the reason why they hired Matt, was because of what they saw on YouTube. And it's
Yeah,
like, well, why
exactly.
didn't you just let him do everything? Like, why are you paying two people to do a job one person could do?
Agree.
good
All right, fellas,
morning,
I'm gonna pull into the parking lot
204.
now. I'll see you guys later on. All right. Have a great
Okay,
day,
Jason,
everyone.
thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.
See you,
Yes,
Jason.
sir.
See you guys.
So I asked Crawford, Marcus Crawford, if he knew how to do the neo syncing, and he did not. He was like, no, I think a lot of those big guys that they just kind of do a real quick review and don't really dig super deep. I don't know that for sure, but he didn't know, so I end up having to dig deeper and figure it
Well-
out. But kind of a pain.
Well, there's some of them that just do an initial review to get the views, and then there's some that do follow-up videos.
Yeah,
You just have to find the guys that do that. And then it's how in depth they go on that original review. You know, there's some guys that will go and find every setting in that thing and go over it in detail. And then there's some that just go over the basics of it.
yeah.
Well, that's
nowhere
that's why they make auto.
nowhere in that manual did it show how to sync those two videos. It was like, really?
Like the one person I used to watch was Rick from Drone Valley, because he was he would go through every single little setting. And then there was some guys, like I said, they would just go through what they felt like was important on the drone, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's some people put the reviews up that tell you how to do things that you just don't understand what they're doing.
Okay, so that 24 gigs is done. That took what, about 6-7 minutes?
Yeah.
There's a couple people I play with in the UK that their Xboxes are going to take all fucking day to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Some of them, it's mainly because some people just don't have their shit hardwired. And you don't
Be
realize
right
how
back.
much speed you lose when you don't have your Xbox or computer plugged in. Like on my internet, I get around 900 on my up and down on average, right? But the minute I unplug it and I go to Wi-Fi, it goes down to like 300-400. Like that's how much I lose by just using the Wi-Fi. It's always I still find it better just to be hardwired if you're going to do a gaming system or a gaming PC.
He hear him howling at the dog. He doesn't want to come in.
And it actually would have been a lot faster, but for some reason, the last 2 or 3 gigs took a couple minutes. First 20 gigs went by quick.
Well, when you look at DJI website, everything is out of stock. The only thing in stock is the Flip. It must be punishing us.
Oh no, it could have just been a big run on their ship because of all the tariffs that were coming into place too.
Last night they were talking about this on Drone Nation, and Lauren came out and said that a couple of people said, the guy from Drone DJ said the same thing. He said they're thinking about the possibility that they're stocking up real big. And they said because they tried once before to open up in the United States. Maybe they're trying to do that.
Well,
Or
see,
get the stuff to the United States first.
there was a loophole too that they've now closed to where if a retailer ordered a bunch of drones, they would have to pay the tariff. But if you
Right.
ordered a drone as a single consumer and DJI mailed it to you from China, you didn't have to pay that tariff. But they've now
Right.
closed that loophole, so everybody has to pay it regardless.
So my big question is this. This new drone coming out the 20th of next month is Mavic 4. How expensive is that going to be?
Because, like I said, if you really look at like Trump with China, he just wants kind of equal playing field with pricing, which is fine with me. But he doesn't seem to be as anti-Chinese, I would say, as he was in his first term. He kind of wants to work more with them.
Yeah,
But
we got to work with them.
He just wants a fairness on stuff, you know.
Got to keep your enemies close. You know what I mean?
Just like India,
You saw-
India had 100% tariffs on all
Yeah.
our products coming into India, and so he matched that, which that's why Apple was like, "Fuck it, we're coming back to the U.S." because it's going to
Yeah.
cost. It'll actually be slightly cheaper now to manufacture in the U.S. than in India. So that's
Yeah.
why they pledged $500 billion to come back into the U.S.
Yeah, they got the guy in Taiwan that did $1 billion for chips research. They're coming back and build chip factories.
No, he pledged. They had already pledged 65. Then he pledged 100, and then he went up to 200 billion.
Yeah, but there's another guy that said 500, and Trump said, "Look, why don't we just go ahead another 500?" And then he came back a couple weeks later and said he's going to do the other 500 too.
But just
Another
between Apple and the chip manufacturing, that's 600 billion right there.
Mhm.
But if you add it all up, he's up to almost $2 trillion in investments.
Oh yeah. And I
So
love it when they came on yesterday. Jeffries comes on yesterday, and he's got a grainy video. It's like, I mean, if you're gonna come on and say something, do it with at least a good picture. You know what I mean? Come on with a grainy, choppy video. And he says, as you can see now, we got the Republicans on the run. What are you talking about?
I'm saying it's like Canada wants to tariff $125 billion in products, which, okay, that's fine and everything. I mean, fuck, the U.S. economy moves 10 times that in a day.
Yeah.
Certain people going to feel certain things on certain products here and there. Yeah, of course. But it's just like I said yesterday, it's just a transition period.
You know, the bottom line, they're trying to pass a spending bill to keep the government open to the end of the fiscal year right now. And the only thing added to it is for the border, money for the border, and one other thing. I can't remember what it was. And everything else is staying. They're not adding all the little pet peeves everybody wants on it. And they're saying there's no way they're going to be able to pass it. But we got the majority. If they stick together, it's passed. Both of them are passed.
Well, and the thing
So,
is,
Just
and
do it, you know?
Elon just announced today on their Doge. I mean, Doge announced it, but so far they're at $4 billion in savings per day.
Yeah. He came on, he was on Rogan's show, I think it was. And it was saying, I don't know why they're saying that they hate Doge and they hate us and they hate me. He said, everything we find, we put the receipts out there that have been getting paid and on the website to show everybody step by step what they were paying, what we're taking away.
Okay, well, it was like yesterday, right? 200, what it was either 233 or $333 million in business loans to people, and that amount was all given out to people that were all age 11 and younger.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's the
that
crap,
means
you
that
know?
somebody was using people were using their kids' identities, or they were stealing people's kids' identities to file for loans, which should have never been processed anyway, because that should have been flagged with their age by their social security number. So how the fuck did those loans even go through?
What was the other one? It was like $2 billion to some country for research of doing transgender mice or something like this.
Some kind of weird research like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like really, you know? Why is my
Well,
tax dollars paying for that?
I think some of that stuff is just labeled as that, but it's just money laundering at the end of the day.
Well, I guarantee you, because you got to look at what was it? OAC. She came in. They said her network was like nothing, and she's worth millions right now. How?
Well, that's the whole question is, well, how does somebody that makes 150,000 a year in a 2-year
They have
period,
48
they're
million
worth,
now after 2 years.
yeah, that doesn't make any
I'm
sense
telling you,
by any
they
means.
need to dig into it and figure it out. You know, and if they're money laundering, go after them.
And Doge is up to 100 employees now. He's adding another 100 to their team, and they
Oh, that
have
was the
their
thing.
and he has announced that they have their clause now in every single agency. There's not a single one that they're not into
Yeah.
right now.
Well, listen to the
Their
stupid
team's
statement that
not
Jeffrey's
looking
made. Jeffrey said, we're not going to approve it. We're not going to vote for it unless we have what we want in it. And what we want in it is a limit to the president's authority to be able to cut programs.
Oh, they'd have to House and Senate to vote on that, and they're not going to vote on that.
Oh, but that's what they're saying.
Well,
We're
some
not going to,
presidential
they're going to
authority.
lose anyway.
The thing is some presidential authorities are covered by the Constitution, so they wouldn't
Yeah.
even be able to do that. Well, I'm not
Yeah,
saying that
it's
particular
crazy.
one they wouldn't be able to do, but there's some authorities that are given to the president by the Constitution.
Well,
Which cannot be stripped away.
I've got the flow chart somewhere around here, but he's got the executive authority. So technically he can cut these programs. You know, that's by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said he could do it. You know, he's the CEO basically.
Well, the Supreme Court's the supreme decider on whether laws are
Right. They did say
constitutional or
he
not,
has
so.
the, whatever's been, if they've already performed, if they can show that they've already done the service, they have to be paid. But they don't have to pay them anymore. You know? And I understand that.
And then, Elon's admitted, he's even said, some programs may be cut, but if we find, he goes, we'll look at them right away. And if they are legitimate programs, he goes, we will turn them back on immediately. And they have done that with a few stuff.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, like the malaria drugs and a few other drugs that were being put out by USAID. He said that they immediately, they were only off for about a day or two, and then they immediately refunded it.
Yeah.
It's just, that's going to happen where programs may be cut temporarily for a couple days, but they'll catch it real quick.
Oh, they got a new thing on the DJI website. Now it says deliver to. You gotta put where you at. And if you put stuff like, you put New Jersey, let me see, this is New Jersey does it. Yeah, New Jersey's further out. But they had some of them one time, somebody was saying that when you put in where you at, it would tell you, we can't deliver to that area.
That may have been when
Wow.
certain ports were holding stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Not all
they
the
still
ports
have
were
a,
doing it.
see, this would be a good buy for me too, right now. Getting a
A Devil
Mavic 3
Neo?
Pro. A Mavic 3 Pro.
Don't you already
Yeah,
have a
because-
Mavic 3?
Because, yeah, I've got a Mavic 3, but it got like freaking 100 hours on it. But if I got a Mavic 3 Pro, it'd probably be a lot cheaper than buying a Mavic 4. And I'm gonna see what comes out.
I don't know. I'd wait only because we've seen recently that their drone prices really aren't much different from the newer models than the previous model.
But
I don't know. I'd probably
I've got
wait.
everything that Mavic 3 Pro will work with. Plus, I've got 4 batteries. That'll give me 5 batteries. And I got all my stuff, you know. And the Mavic 3
Yeah,
does everything I want. The Pro's just a little bit better camera.
yeah, I was thinking that same thing, Joe. But I think the technology in the 4 might have me go that route. I don't know yet. To look at the price.
But
Well,
I
and then
can't
you're
do
gonna really want to
$1,500 for low technology.
Well, and then you're gonna really want to look at the feature difference because
Yeah.
they are kind of hitting a plateau just like cell phones. I mean, it's such a slight upgrade each model.
Yeah,
And then they're gonna put fancy words on the shit to make it seem like it's more advanced when it's really not. They're gonna be like, oh, we introduced a new AI model into the camera, and you're not gonna fucking notice it.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be something stupid that's really
The
minor,
light-
but they're gonna word it like it's some high-tech technology.
the LiDAR seems to be in a strange spot where I don't know that it's going to be very effective. You think you would want it in the middle of the drone, not on one of the arms, on one of the legs.
Right.
Yeah, because if it's
Right.
on one, if it's on one of the arms, it'll actually be pointing at an angle.
Yeah,
It won't be pointing straight forward.
Well, and something I've
Unless they
noticed-
wrap it around the front side, though, Mark, they might do that. I don't know.
They might have to
But-
set it so that it's pointing forward.
But it doesn't
So
look like
the
it would be as effective as the Air 3S. But I don't, again, I don't know.
Mm.
I have to wait for the testing to come out, see what people say.
Well, like I said, and you just look at the features difference. If it's a slight upgrade, there's really no reason to spend that kind of money. I mean, you're better off waiting probably till the Mavic 5 comes out before you're going to see a significant upgrade.
Yeah.
Because that's
Well-
going to be another 3 to 5 years down the road, you know?
I believe somebody said the other night that the 4 should be in the tester's hands in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Lauren said that.
Yeah, Drone Nation. I heard that on Drone Nation last night.
Yeah.
And they're thinking 4/20 possible release date, but again, everyone's guessing, and that's a Sunday, so that might not happen
Well,
either.
and try
What a good-
watching reviewers where drones aren't their main content too, because you might get a more honest opinion from them too.
What a good choice of date, eh? 420.
That's what Bob Dempsey's saying.
420 friendly.
Yeah, Littleton, Colorado. My buddy's the principal at Columbine, and so they have a big thing every year on that.
Didn't they like tear down part of that school and rebuild it?
I don't think they did. I think that was Stony Brook, maybe some other, but I don't think they tore. I'll have to ask him.
Either that or they think they remodeled it, like they tried to make it look different, so it wasn't.
Yeah, they could have
I
remodeled it.
think if it was the same school I'm thinking of.
He took
There's
over
been
for,
some of them where they've just torn the whole school down and rebuilt it.
yeah, I think Stony Brook, they did that. I believe. I'm not positive, but I'll have to ask him. He took over for the principal that that was on guard. Obviously, he was the guy that was the principal when it happened, and that guy wanted to. He was about to retire, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to wait until all the kindergartners get through the high school before I retire." So he stayed another 13 years before he retired. And then my buddy took over. But my buddy took over probably 5 years. You know, he was a vice principal about 5 years before the dude retired.
We've torn a lot of schools down here to rebuild them because of that lightweight concrete that they used in the roofs.
They're tearing them all down here and rebuilding them because we don't have enough damn room for all the kids. Like there's been 3 elementary schools that they've completely flattened, like completely torn everything down, and now they're putting multi-story buildings there because a lot of these schools are already in neighborhoods, so they don't have any more room to go out. So they have to go up. So they're tearing down this, like during the summertime, they took 2 of the schools and they completely just flattened them. And they're rebuilding multi-story buildings on them. And then they got a 3rd one that they've been working on this whole school year. And they're about finished with. And then I think Garden Grove, the one that my daughter goes to, I think that's the next one on the list that's getting torn down and rebuilt. Just because of the amount of people moving here, we don't have the room. And I think it's more feasible just to tear down the schools you already have and rebuild them up than trying to rebuild more schools or build newer schools.
And you're outside Orlando?
Yeah, about 45 minutes. We went from the 3rd fastest growing county to the #1 fastest growing county in the U.S. Like there's just the amount of shit being built here is insane, dude. There's housing and apartment complexes and shopping centers popping up everywhere. Wherever there's an empty piece of property, I mean, it doesn't sit very long. It's being sold and built on.
Hey,
Almost
lad,
all the.
what did you think of that guy that won at Palm Beach? Just got through on the cut line and then shot 2 64s on Saturday and Sunday to win it.
I know. It was amazing.
Wasn't it?
The dude, yeah. You know, you're happy for guys that don't get a lot of exposure to win things like that.
Sometimes that's all it
And
takes.
he's only won like 5 times, I think.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it
he's
takes. So
fairly
they could be
famous.
the next Tiger Woods, right?
Henley's kind of famous. In fact, he's I think in the top 10 in the money winnings. So he's not that new, I guess. But boy, that chip shot on whatever hole that was, 16 to win it.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but like in sports, sometimes you have a good play or whatever like that, and the next thing you know, you could be the next Tiger Woods with fucking endorsements and.
I'm
everything
telling you,
else.
the next Tiger Woods is going to be his son, Charlie. When he becomes a pro in a few years' time, that kid's already brilliant.
Yeah.
And you don't hear much about. Well, I guess I don't really follow golf, but you just don't hear about Tiger Woods in the media, like because if you weren't somebody that watched golf, you still saw Tiger Woods everywhere in ads and everything, but you don't see him much anymore.
Well, he still sponsors a couple of competitions. He does one for the vets in Bermuda, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, he's just not as big in the media anymore like he used to be.
Yeah.
Like I said, unless you're following golf real closely like you guys do, you'll know that kind of stuff. But
I mean, he still plays well, but he don't play as well as he used to anymore. So,
he had his time, just like any sports person.
yeah.
You know?
Well, no, it was his injuries that did it.
Well, I'm saying like age is going to get to you, whether it's injuries or just carpal tunnel or anything. All that
No,
stuff's going to get to you eventually. You're gonna have your time to shine, and then eventually you're going to fall out.
no, it was mainly his car crash.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying,
Mhm.
how many more years you think he would have been that hot of a golfer, even if he didn't have that?
Mm.
I mean, he would have hit that point at some point.
When you consider how long Jack Nicklaus was at the top and Arnold Palmer before him at the same time.
It's like football or basketball. You're real hot, and then you become an announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of them do.
I mean, at the moment, you've got Scotty Scheffler doing the same kind of thing.
You get big like Tom Brady, you end up either becoming an announcer, or you end up owning half of a team, or you end up buying it. You get rich enough to buy your own team.
Mm.
I ain't buying the Mavic 3 Pro right now.
Is there
You
some
are?
sports?
No, I said I'm not.
Just
Because
buy
the
it.
credit
Buy
card
it,
that I
Joe.
put it
Buy
on
it.
usually gives me a whole bunch of months. It's saying 6 months, same as cash.
Huh.
This one should qualify for 24 months.
Yeah, they've had enough of your shit.
I paid everything off too. It's like,
It's
if
like
you're talking
last.
$2,500,
It's like
I'll do it 24 months, same as cash with them.
the day I bought my car, I used all my daily limits on all my cards, even though I still had money on there. Yeah, they weren't having none of my shit for at least 24 hours.
Yeah.
They were like, "You're not using any more of your shit." I had to do some transfer and oh, it was a pain in the ass. Because I paid 3,000 on my PayPal card, and then to pay the other 3,000, yeah, I had to like transfer money back and forth through accounts and then pull it out. It was a pain in the ass because I was hitting all my daily limits on everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because
I had to call.
when you go over a certain amount of money, when you go over $600, they go to 12 months. When you go over $1,500, they go to 24 months. And it's saying 6 months.
Mm.
I'll call the credit card up and say, hey, I want to buy this, but I want 24 months.
A lot of times, though, if you have a good rapport with them and you call them up, they'll do that. They'll
I
do
got a
stuff
good
like
rapport
that.
with them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you paid all your stuff off, if you call them up, most likely they'll probably give in and do it for you.
Yeah, I got a gazillion-dollar credit limit with these people. This is what I want to buy them with. See, this is where I'd buy the Mavic 4 too if they have it.
A
It's just like
gazillion is always a good number.
Well, it's just like if you have a $2,000 credit limit and you were good with that limit for 2-3 years, and then you decide you want to spend $5,000, you call them up and say, "Hey, I want my credit limit raised." A lot of times they'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Got to charge all my batteries flying with Angel tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Johnny and I are flying tomorrow, so we're gonna get a day out. I
But I
haven't
had to-
flown in 9 days. I'm gonna fly today.
It's going to be
I'll
my
fly tomorrow and today.
last chance to shoot the Space Needle at dark for a while.
But I had a $3,000 limit on my PayPal card per day, and when I went to the car dealership to pay the $3,000 on the card, I forgot we had went to breakfast and spent $60 on breakfast at a restaurant, and that put me over. So I had to call PayPal up, and they gave me a temporary limit raise for 24 hours. Like, all because I went $60 over.
Yeah.
As they looked at my account, they were like, "Oh yeah, you got plenty in there. We'll just go ahead and up it for 24 hours and give you a temporary limit raise." I said, "All right, that's fine with me." long as I can get this done, so. Which I understand why they do daily limits. A lot of it's for fraud prevention. The same with the ATM limits, because they don't want somebody going to an ATM, robbing somebody and going to an ATM and pulling $20,000 out one
Right.
shot. So they give you like a $1,500. They might give you a $500 limit per day, depending on the
It's
bank.
200. Our limit on the ATM is 250 a day.
It depends on the bank over here. Like some give you a 500, some might give you 1,000. But it's mainly for fraud prevention or being robbed, somebody robbing your card and going to the ATM and trying to force you to take out 20 grand in one shot,
Yeah. In fact, they used to have, the contactless. They used to have a limit of being only able to spend £30 on contactless.
See, like banks usually don't have a limit if you go in the bank. Like
Yeah, no,
Sarah's card, her bank card, she's at like I think a $500 limit at the ATM per day, but she can go into the bank and pull out as much as she wants.
Yeah.
But she has to physically walk
if
in
you
there
go
and
to the
fill out
cash. Yeah. Or a teller, as you call them.
Yeah, you have to go in there and fill out a deposit or a withdrawal slip, and then they'll let you take out whatever you want.
Now I'm gonna ask the Crutchfield about it. I'm not gonna buy it today, but I wanna see.
So
Because like I said, I'm if they come out with the map before and I decide, yeah, it's worth the price, I got the money on the card to get it. But I'm not gonna get it with a 6-month promo.
So
They
if
give
you
me
buy,
they give me a year promo, I could get it. Because
Yeah.
then I'll just pay for it out of my money next year with what you call it, with football.
so if you buy the 3 Pro, are you going to sell the 3?
No,
Hmm.
because that'd be the two go-tos. Because the
Right.
3 is good, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's just that 70 zoom lens. Telephoto lens is not really brilliant.
I would say though, Joe, if you get that though, get rid of one of your other ones because you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna be one of those people with 7 drones and 4 of them sit there and you never fly them, and then you're just wasting your money.
I mean, like me.
Because everybody does that. Everybody will
Yeah,
go out.
like I said, I'm trying to sell my Avata setup right now. And the more I look at it, I'm finding them out there. These people, even the Mini 3 Pro I got, I'm asking 800 for it, and people asking 800 for half of what I've got in there, and they're getting them. But the people don't want to spend 800 on what I got. And it's just the guys, everybody says, I'll give you 500 for it, I'll give you 300 for it. No. You're getting 5 batteries, you're getting a case, you're getting the filters, you're getting everything else. The other thing, you're getting 4 batteries, you're getting 2 drones, $1,000. If you bought the 2 drones by themselves with 2 batteries, it's going to cost you $1,000.
Mhm.
And one's got 18 flights on it, one's got no flights on it.
Because I've seen way more people that end up buying 5, 6, 7 drones, and then they just 3 or 4 of them will just sit there and they'll never fly them.
Yeah.
More than I
Well, that's
have.
like my Mini 3 Pro. I don't fly it.
That's what I'm saying. And the longer it sits there, the less valuable it is.
Yeah.
You
I just
sit
don't
home-
understand why I can't get rid of that Avata setup. But you see, the Avata setup, I'd love to sell because I'd want the bigger price. But if I don't sell it, if it doesn't sell, I'll fly that one just as much as I fly the Avata 2. I just switch them out. I'd rather have the Avata 2, the Avata out there over Swamp to lose it than the Avata 2,
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I said. I've seen that a lot over the years though, where people bought more than 2 or 3 drones, and then you'd ask them,
Yeah.
"Oh, have you flown this drone in a while?" Now it's been sitting there for 6 months. Haven't touched it.
Are you saying, Joe, that your Neo is not going to replace the original Avata?
The Neo has replaced my paperweight on the desk.
Hey, Ed said he'll give you 50 for it, Joe.
No, it ain't working.
That's 50 Canadian. That's like 25 US.
Hey, Sarah.
And I'm already answering her, so talking to her messenger right now. My phone was shut off because I was charging it. Oh, by the way, if you're watching the stream still too, Sarah, you got 3 months of Sirius XM radio free with the car. They gave you 3 free months because I know she actually likes that.
What's that? You have to pay for radio.
No, it's the satellite radio. That you have to pay for, but there's like 180 channels or something you get on there or something like that. And it's a lot of it's ad free. There's like no ads or anything. But a lot of the vehicles over here, there's some like you'll go buy a new car and they do deals with it all the time. They'll give you like 3 months. When we bought our car, the Chrysler years ago, we got a whole year's free with it for buying it. Like that was the deal they had with the dealership. So they always offer free months and stuff. I honestly don't know how the fuck they make any money. You'll do 3 free months with them, and then you won't re-up it for like a couple months, and then they'll send you another thing. Are you sure you don't want it? We'll give you another 2 free months.
Yeah.
That's like Walmart, right? You know that Walmart Plus shit that they have for delivery. I got it for a month because it was free, and I didn't end up using it at all. So I was like, nah. So at the end of the month, they asked me, "Do you want to re-up it or cancel it?" I canceled it. They said, "Well, we'll give you 2 free months if you keep it." And I said, and I said no. I answered no when they offered it to me, and then they offered me another 4 months. They offered me 4 months, and I was like, no, I
Wow.
don't fucking want it. And then
Yeah.
eventually they just gave up after the 4-month thing. They were like, okay, thank you, because it was all automated on the website. Every time I kept clicking no, it kept offering me more free months. I was like, no, I don't want it. Because we just don't do home delivery enough to use it. So if I want to go get something from Walmart, I'll just go there and pick it up, you know?
Yeah.
Jody said he got a mini 2-fly mower for $100.
Or I'll order it online and just go and pick it up, you know, in the pickup area. I don't really have shit delivered to the house. So.
Well, our supermarkets, if you order for home delivery, they just charge you a delivery fee if you don't go over a certain amount.
Well, that's what the Walmart Plus is. It gives you, it's like $14 a month, and you get free delivery on all orders.
Yeah, it don't cost anything over here. You just pay a couple of quid for delivery if you don't go over, say, 40 or 50 quid.
But for $14 a month, there's some families, you know, that will order $400 or $500 orders twice a month. So to me, that would be worth it if you were doing that, you know.
Yeah, but that's if you order that much over here, it's free delivery anyway.
Well, you got to think we're more spread out too, though. One Walmart's got to cover a pretty big area, so.
Yeah, I must admit, the Asda that's Walmart is only 2 miles away from me. And if I wanted
What you bought, Paul?
I could just go out and catch.
I had to buy some copy paper and some cookies. I don't have any copy paper for my printer.
What are you printing all the time that you need paper and ink all the time?
Well, anytime I order something, I always make a print of it.
Because I have a copier and I fucking use it like once every 3 months. Like I barely ever use it. Fucking pack of copy paper will last me a fucking year and a half. I rarely have to print anything.
Well, I replaced the copy paper that I had here. It had already turned yellow.
Don't leave it in the sunlight, then it won't turn yellow.
Yeah,
It
or
wasn't in
unless
the, it
it's,
wasn't in the sunlight. It was way up on the top shelf out in my garage office.
In the
It
heat.
shouldn't turn yellow then.
unless it's some kind of like weird recyclable paper or something.
Yeah.
They have this recycled printer paper that Sarah's mom bought, and I was feeling it the other day, and it was so fucking thin and like waxy feeling. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, it did not feel like copy paper at all, but it was. There's some like recycled shit where they use recyclable materials to make it, and it just
Yeah,
felt weird as shit.
They'd recycled it with Izal toilet paper.
Wow, it was probably used toilet paper too.
Yep.
Well, those are brown streaks in the paper.
Yeah.
No, but it
Little
was
ambiance.
it was the weirdest printer paper I've ever felt. I was like, this is some weird shit. I've never felt printer paper because it almost felt like receipt paper. Almost, it was so thin. It just felt really weird.
A little ambiance going there, you know?
Yeah, so Sirius has they have 240 channels. Well, 240 plus. So why don't you just give me the exact number? Why do you have to say 240 plus channels? Just tell me if it's fucking 300. Yeah, they got a lot.
I don't think we've got anything that's called satellite radio over here. We've got DAB, which is digital audio broadcasts.
Well, we have like AM, FM, but
even that's still free.
But satellite radio is literally built into most vehicles over here, and it's your choice to whether you want to get the subscription or not. Just another source in the stereo.
Yeah, it used to be AM and FM, but now they've gone DAB, which is digital. But it don't cost you anything.
No, that AM, FM over here doesn't cost you anything. It's just
even the DAB don't cost you anything.
Here's what I'm replacing right here.
Yeah, see, that's some weird cotton paper you bought. Oh, that must be from that looks like that's from the Treasury. You printing money over there? What's going on?
See how it's got a yellow tint to it?
It might not be that it turned yellow. It might have been that the whole time. And you just didn't notice it.
Could be. It says
that
guaranteed for use with laser printers, inkjet printers, copiers.
Because that might be that looks like some kind of specialty paper.
Well, my question is, what do you use it?
Yeah, it's legal. That's why it's yellow. It's for legal documents.
For money.
My question, how often do you use it?
Well, I used to have a regular couple of packages of white paper, but it's gone. So
yeah,
well,
but
just get a package of white paper.
I put this in, and I ran a copy of something, and it came out kind of a light yellowish, like legal, whatever.
Well, Joe, what I'm saying
is legal paper.
It's 100%. It's a cotton legal paper, so it's probably for printing contracts.
It's gonna be yellow.
And stuff. Yeah, it's for printing contracts.
Cotton fiber.
Yeah, it says right on the package legal paper, so it's made.
It says yellow too, doesn't it?
Right, but what it is it's more sturdy paper for printing contracts and stuff on. Is what it is.
Yeah, legal paper is usually yellow.
Did you see what the price was back when I bought it? I don't know when I bought it. It was $30 for this box of it.
Right, because like I said, that's for printing up legal contracts and stuff. It's a little bit more sturdier of a paper that lasts longer.
So this is my question. What are you printing?
I'm just printing my receipts, but I don't want to do it on that paper.
Right. So what paper did you buy? The same kind?
Plain old white paper for.
Okay, I thought you'd replace that. I thought you were
replacing
that.
No. The plain old paper, and I got it for like $6.79 for a packlet, you know.
Yeah, because I was going to tell you, if you're replacing that to do it, I was going to say lean forward.
Well, Paul, what you need to do is just buy a new printer because it usually comes with about 50 sheets of paper. So every time you need paper, just buy a new printer.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy some new paper.
That's
soon.
expensive though, $6. Last time I
But the-
bought a thing of paper, it was like $4 something.
Welcome to the new regime.
No,
No,
it
that's-
depends on,
It depends on what kind of paper you buy. I could
Right.
buy it I could buy it at Walmart for $3.89 right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy some paper soon because the stuff I brought home with me from work, the photocopier paper's nearly run out.
all the office supplies you stole before you retired.
Yeah.
It's like I could get more pencils and pens too. Paul, there's a great company out there that sells paper called Dunder Mifflin.
Options ranging from 1 year at 6.5% to 5 years at 10.5%.
And they're located in Pennsylvania.
Okay, I was waiting to see if somebody caught on to that.
What?
I said there's a great company out there that sells copy paper. It's called Dunder Mifflin. Yeah, that's from the show The Office over here, the American Office.
All right.
That was the name of their paper company, was Dunder Mifflin.
I don't watch The Office.
Oh, that was a great show.
It was until
God.
what's his name left in the last couple seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still
Yeah, but-
okay. It just wasn't as funny.
Yeah, we have a British version of it, and it's crap.
Yeah, we did a remake of it, an American version of it, because you guys had it first.
Yeah.
No, it had Steve Carell in it for like the first, like, what was it, 4 or 5 seasons, and it was really funny. But after he left, the last like
For
season,
some reason, I never liked that show.
it wasn't that good.
It just was a weird humor.
Yeah, Steve Carell has weird humor, but it's like, and I've watched him in shows, but that show I just couldn't watch.
Mm.
Maybe it wasn't fast enough for me or something, you know?
I wasn't interested in watching it until after it had already went off the air, and then I decided to watch it one day, and I kind of fell into it. But I like actually running across shows after they're off the air because then you get to watch all the seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can sit and binge watch it.
I'm looking
So all
forward
those,
to the new series of Wednesday when it comes out.
Like
so
I
all
have,
those parades that got canceled and are redoing Saturday, now we're getting bad weather Saturday.
Mm-hmm. What do
Terrible.
you say, Justin?
I was gonna say, like Sons of Anarchy. I didn't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
watch that when it first came out, but then after it was off the air, I decided to watch it one day. Me and Sarah ended up both falling into it and getting really into it. That was a really good show.
Mm.
I had a couple friends that tried to get me to watch it like the first couple of years it was out, and I just wasn't interested in watching it. Just like Breaking Bad, I didn't watch that till it was off the air, and I ended up binge watching it.
I haven't watched any of that.
Breaking Bad's really good.
Better Call Saul was better, I think, but I like Breaking Bad too.
I didn't like Better Call Saul. I watched the first couple seasons, and I just kind of fell out of watching it.
Are you out in the wind, Justin?
I don't think he got that, Paul.
Are you outside, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm hearing wind blowing.
All right. Well, yeah, it's a little windy, but not a lot.
Oh, oh, stop.
Okay, I muted you and it disappeared, Mark.
Yeah, it's definitely not me because I'm running the noise cancellation.
Okay.
Even if I was outside, you wouldn't hear wind. He just doesn't get all the same features because he's on mobile, so they don't have all that shit.
That's weird because I can't actually hear any wind sitting here. So I
Well, it
don't know
just means
where
your
it's
mic
coming
is super
from.
sensitive. Well, it just means your mic on your cell phone's good though too.
Can you guys hear it?
No. And I got headphones on. I can't hear it.
Me either.
Joe, you can't hear it?
Can't hear it.
Huh.
Must be a sound bar you got.
Either that,
My-
he's got tinnitus.
You might want to press that button again there, Paul.
Yeah.
Oh no, what it was is I had a video fly in the background. It was a ship video down in Algonac, and it was going.
Don't worry about leaning forward. Just turn around. You'll get you square in the ass. Come on.
After yesterday, I want to kick him square in the ass with that fucking sound bar.
But when what was that? You didn't have it plugged in or something?
No, he just hit the button on the bottom of the monitor and fucking
Yeah,
did something, muted the sound bar or something.
he hit the volume control buttons that are underneath the monitor.
And so David went through this whole like fucking him and Bill and everybody went through like this whole like 45-minute troubleshoot with
Well,
him
that
just to
was
find out,
Sunday, I guess.
Yeah,
just to find
I
out
think
he
it
hit a
might have
button.
been. Yeah, all he'd done is turn the volume down.
Yeah.
That's the
Going
thing is
outside.
AZ
He'll
was
come out
saying
when
at
he's
the
ready.
beginning, before everybody started trying to walk Paul through it, AZ even said that's the monitor volume when he saw it pop up on the screen. And I
Yeah.
said so. I relayed what AZ said, but everybody was all talking, so I just let him go.
No.
Overthinking. Mm,
Can't see the forest from the trees.
For the trees, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the trees is because of the forest. One of them. Ooh. Oh, we'll see that. At the Sanger Theater, they're gonna have the Phantom of the Opera.
It's not been the same since Michael Crawford stopped doing it.
Oh yeah, you got a point. I saw it here years ago. I saw it here. It was crazy good.
Bro, you want to put me to sleep? Take me to one of those. I've been to 3 different professional. Like I went and watched the King and I on Hollywood Boulevard, and then I went and watched 2 of these really professional like Christmas musical play things, and I fell asleep in all 3 of them.
You can't beat the King and I with Yul Brynner.
Yeah, this was actually on Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles. They had it.
Yeah.
They had a big production at this huge event, and a bunch of schools got to go. I think I was in like 8th or 9th grade when I went. Yeah, I passed out halfway through. I was like, I was just not feeling it.
I would never eat at that guy's restaurant.
And then we went.
They got a guy. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we went to 2 Christmas plays for Sarah's work, and Sarah, the first one, Sarah, it was me or Sarah, me, her friend's husband, and then her friend, and me and the husband were both passed out snoring. They had to hit us with their elbows and wake us up.
They got a segment on the news every morning where they put different local chefs on, right? So the guy's up there cooking. He's got something that I can't say what he's eating, what he's got rather, but he's cooking. But they got him on there and he's mixing stuff up and everything. And they tell him, so he looks up at the camera and everything. He reaches down into the pan with his fingers, pulls some stuff out and sticks it in his mouth. So I'm done. I'm not going to this restaurant. I don't know how many times he double dipped them fingers.
Remember the what was it, the Bay dude or whatever? So stupid. The guy that used to dump the salt down his elbow onto your steak, remember that? That
No,
big
I
old
don't remember
craze
that.
about 3-4 years ago. You don't remember that?
No, I don't. I don't remember seeing it.
That dude went super viral. And then it turned out his restaurant was actually dog shit. Like a lot of people said it wasn't even any good.
Wow.
But he got super famous, and all he would do is come up to your steak after they would put it on your table, and he would take salt and he would pinch it right above his elbow, and it'd come off his elbow onto your steak. And I'm like, what the fuck would you want somebody to do that?
I wouldn't want it.
They called him the Salt Bay or something like that. What's his name?
Yeah. We had when I worked DMS, they had it on Canal and Claiborne. They had a little bitty, looked like an old homeless building. Okay, and there was a Vietnamese family there that did fried rice. And we stopped there one day because we knew it was a restaurant. Like, stopped there one day, and I mean it was run down and everything, but the kitchen inside, you could look through and see the kitchen was pretty spotless. And I used to get one of those white containers that you fold over, full of fried rice. You could barely close it for like $3, you know. And it'd be any kind of rice. They had all kind of different ones. It was like $3 for a container, because it was like $5 for the container, but he gave EMS it for $3. And I used to do that on a Friday night or something when I knew I was getting ready to get off. Swing by there and grab a couple of containers and bring it home, you know. But if you went up there and you didn't know what he had on the inside, and I mean, if it was chicken, he chopped all the stuff up right in front of you. You could see it, you know. But I tell you, just by looking at it on the outside, you'd be afraid to eat there, you know. But I tell you, his food, God darn it, was it good.
Oh, I used to judge restaurants when I worked at the gas company, like, because you'd go behind some restaurants, they'd look all nice on the outside
Yeah.
or like in the front, but then you'd go to the back and it would just look dingy as hell. Like they didn't clean up anything. There'd just be shit piled up all that in the back. I'm like, yeah, no. And then you'd go to
You
some
know what?
restaurants and it'd be spotless all around the whole building.
You don't want to look at my nephew's restaurant then, because it's up on stilts. It's up on stilts. It's built on stilts. And when you go to the back, that's why they got that trailer and everything they bring from different places. And he's got crates stacked up and all kind of stuff in back of the restaurant.
I mean, if
And
it's
it looks sloppy, but it's neat. You know what I mean?
oh, I'm just talking about like in the back of restaurants, you'd see like a lot of trash and just build
Yeah,
up.
he don't have that. That's the one thing. But I mean, but it's an area too that if it rains a lot, that area in the back will have standing water and everything else because it's up on stilts. Stop looking at me.
I don't think she's in here anymore, Laura. Anyway, I gotta jump off here. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay, see you, Justin.
See you, Justin.
See you, Justin. I am definitely. The wind don't look like it's blowing. Look at this thing. I'm going to fly somewhere today. I'm tired of not flying.
Well, our temperature's dropped down. It was 16 yesterday. It's only 7.
Oh shoot, yeah. We got 5-mile-an-hour winds. KP is 3. Oh shoot, it's 56 degrees right now. They're making a long sleeve shirt. Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm going on a lakefront or something.
You and Johnny going flying tomorrow?
Tomorrow. I ought to go to Slidell today. Go hang out by Heritage Park. Because I was during that St. Patrick's Parade yesterday, there were 3 trains that went by and I didn't have a drone with me. I was gonna bring the Neo. Actually, I was gonna bring the Neo because I could put it in my bag. And if I'd heard the train coming, because you could hear them coming from a long way, all the places they got to hit their horns. You know, I would have put the Neo up. At least if it got hit by the train, it would have been better.
They just bounced off it.
Yeah, well, you saw that. I am so mad at Art. Art's got me so mad. He clickbaited me yesterday.
Oh, you what?
he clickbaited me yesterday. The guy Russ was on 51 Drones,
Yeah,
and it's got a video of him, and it says drone drops from 400 feet, like that. So I looked at it and I said, and I want to see what drone he was talking about. I thought maybe one of his drones stopped. As soon as it comes on there, you see Russ for a second, then you see Art there. Yeah, that son of a gun. I almost clicked it off. Clickbaiting me into that.
so it wasn't, it didn't show the drone falling 400 feet?
Oh yeah, it did. It actually did. He clipped Russ's video and put Russ's video on. What he did, he took the Neo and he put a drop mechanism on it, and he flew it up with the Mavic 3 up 400 feet. When he got to 400 feet, he just dropped the Neo. So the Neo falls all the way down 400 feet, bounces off the ground. Then he picks up the Neo, starts it up, and flies it.
Yeah. Well,
Nothing
like
wrong with it.
Like that
But
guy.
you could hear it coming down. It sounded like the motors were on.
Like that guy that tests the drones to destruction. It took him forever to kill the Neo.
Yeah. But
Like,
then he
the
said,
concrete
you landed in
walls
the grass
and
now,
all
it was fine. But then Russ said, I wonder how it would do on cement. You know?
Well, that guy crashed it into concrete walls at full speed, and it just bounced off and carried on going.
Well, I bounced the Neo head on into a cement bench. And the only thing I did was lose the filter. And I didn't realize it. Filter popped off. I didn't realize until I got home, and it's like 50 miles away, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be kidding me.
Cost you more in petrol to go and get it than it would to buy another one.
I called up, I sent an email to Freewell and told him, I said, I don't know when it fell off. I told him I didn't know when it fell off, you know? I said, but I get home and I notice it's gone. It's a magnetic one, you know?
Yeah, I know.
And they said, well, it could be a problem with the magnetic part of it. Double check your other ones. I double checked my other ones, and I said they feel loose on the edges, like this. And they said, well, we're going to send you a new one, the 16 that you lost. So they sent me the 16, but my 8 and 32 still feel loose on the side. When I put the 16 on, it didn't move. So it's telling me that the 16, the 8 and the 32 probably weren't magnetized all the way. You know?
Yeah.
Well, something's not magnetized all the way. So I've got the 16 and the 32 still here. I put the 8 on, I'm gonna just leave the 8 on.
I haven't even put that magnetic ring on my Neo yet.
That's the only bad thing. I don't trust it. If you touch something, it might knock it off, you know? And I hated to lose it right away, because this was actually a Christmas gift from my son. He sent me the filters for it. He said we got a limit, $20 on everybody. What you want? And he said, make a wish list. I said, I got a wish list out there. Go look. And he said, well, you got the Neo, right? I said, yeah, I'll get the filters, because they were $20 on sale. There were $30 on sale for 19.
Yeah, it's about the same price as here. Then they were £20 here for the.
But they sent me this little case with one filter in it. You know.
And it doesn't stay on very well.
That one does. The other two don't.
Is that right?
Yeah. And I told him. I said that one fits perfect. I said that one snapped on when I put it near it. I said, but the 8 and the 32 will. I said, I'll send them back to you and show you. The 8 and the 32. When you touch them, the edge doesn't lock together. Like I don't know what's going on, if it's a finish on it or whatever, you know, because the magnetic part is the backside, not the filter. But that one edge we're looking at it on the right side, you can move it. So, but they never replied to me on that, so that's all right. I don't need to buy Freewell filters. I have them with my, this is the funny part about it, okay? Freewell filters are a little bit heavier than everybody else's. I had them on the Air 2S that I bought from Robbie. the gimbal went bad. So did it have a cause? Did it do it, you know?
Mm.
But I got a new drone out of it and I put a different filter on it. So I don't know. I don't have free will on anything else. And the other thing with this Neo, the free will filters, if you look at some of the flights when I'm flying, you got a little line in it, like it's getting a reflection in it. Not a big line, but it's enough that I see it. So it's like that girl is not that tall. Maybe she is.
What is it that she volleyball? She a
No, it's the
volleyball
weather
player or
girl.
something?
It's Hannah, the one
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never met, and she's standing next to Rob Krieger and Lucy Bustamante, and I've met both of those, and they're standing up. I know they're standing. All of them are standing up. So you see Rob sitting in a chair. He's got a chair by him. You see a chair, but Lucy's standing up, and I know how tall Lucy is. See, that's what because I know how tall Rob is, and there's no way in hell she's as tall as Rob. If Lucy's as tall as Rob, then when he moved a little bit, you can see the chair. He's sitting in it. So he's sitting down, and Lucy's standing up, and that's about the right height because she's like 5'2". And I know her from way back. She went to Cabrini right after my wife went to Cabrini, and my daughter was at Cabrini when she was there to school, to high school. And I'm sitting there talking to Lucy and everybody. She's a big superstar in New Orleans, and she's in there giving them a little speech and that as a Christmas celebration. And she sees me, and we're talking, and everybody's looking over. We're sitting there talking and talking and talking. And my wife goes up and she goes, "How do you know her?" I said, "What do I do?" you know, you know. She was the one. She was the one that was at the NFL concert, the kickoff concert, standing in front of me when I shot the picture of Taylor Swift when she rolled her eyes, and I went, "Oh my God, look at this!" And Lucy turned around and said, "What happened? What happened?" I said, "No, the picture. I got the picture I wanted." And she run up, and her and Randy, a girl, her name's Randy. I can't remember the last name, but she from Channel 6 ran up and looked at it, and Lucy said, "Well, that's nice. You got the picture." I said, "That's the one I was looking for. I wanted the eyes rolling." And the guy next to me looks over at the picture and he goes, "Man, that's a nice picture. That looks like it's something that could go on a magazine cover." And Lucy fell out laughing. She goes, "Look at his name tag."
Hmm.
Like that. It said Today's Photographer International Magazine, you know? He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "No, I don't care. No, that don't mean nothing." I said, "I just got the picture I wanted, you know." But Lucy fell out when she saw that, when he said that. She said, "Oh, Lord." But I've known Lucy for, God darn it, at least 30 years. But this weekend, it was supposed to have rain Friday night into Saturday. Man, I hope it ends early because I want those parades to go normal on Metairie Road because that's going to be awesome. Catching a Mardi Gras parade on Metairie Road. They used to parade down there, and they moved them all over to Veterans, the big highway. But that will be, I mean, it's an old city, like they call it Old Metairie, and it's a winding road, and it's only a 2-lane highway. So the floats take up the whole float, the whole area. And there's a lot of places to catch it, but it's not a lot of places to park. That's the whole thing. So where do I catch it, at the beginning, or do I catch it in the middle where I got a big shopping center? Call my cousin and find out where they're going to be because they go to this one every year. It's actually that's Sunday. Actually, Sunday will be good. Saturday is the Irish Channel in New Orleans. That's a big parade. My editor's in that one, so I got to find him and take his picture. Yeah, that's a marching parade where it's mostly marching groups, and it's all Irish, and it's like a St. Patrick's parade. They've got the floats, big Mardi Gras floats, but what they do is the ones that they're going to use for this, they'll start putting a little green on them to make them more like a St. Patrick's float. So some of the highlights on it have green edges and things, and the people on it throw everything again, the potatoes, the cabbage, all the other crap. And then they've got the Irish Channel Marching Club. That this group is a bunch of men that they carry a cane with flowers on it to give the girls, and they have about 500 members, and they'll all walk in the street. And they bring the fire department from the fire department comes down, and the police department come down from New York City and bring their bands and everything, and they march in it. So it's really a spectacular event down here, because it's really something that should go on a national scene where they could see it because of the way it looks and the organization of it. But by the time if you catch it in the beginning, it takes about 2.5 hours to pass. That's how long it is, how big it is. If you catch it, same thing at the end, still you got about 2.5 hours to pass. So that place I usually catch that one in the middle. I caught it one time up by an Irish bar called Tracy's. And down the street is another one called Parasol. And they close that whole block off and have a big block party during the parade. And on St. Patrick's Parade, they do the same thing. So they can have a block party Saturday, and that's the Saturday is the 13th, I think. Oh, let me look at the dates. Saturday is the 15th, and then Monday, the 17th, they'll close it off again and have another block party. Now that's the one to go to, because they just shut down that whole block, and they'll be doing corned beef and cabbage and all kind of different things, shrimp, all kind of stuff, and all the like Guinness's comes out, and they give out free Guinness's beer, and they throw Guinness's shirts to people and everything else, and then the Guinness's girls come out, and you ought to see the way they dress.
Hey, Paul, Brenda's asking about your dog. How your dog's doing today?
He's not listening.
Is he asleep?
No, he's buying something.
He's frozen.
No, he's not. He didn't hear you.
Yeah, I was
He
listening.
typed in Boone is good. He's chasing squeals.
Well, when he chases the squirrels, he does squeal. He's taken after his Uncle Joe.
He's taking after his roots. That's what he's doing.
They are howlers, that's for sure.
Yep. The two main dogs that are howlers are that and Alaskan Huskies. Alaskan Husky will talk to you. Now, Pomeranians will do a little howl like that too. I could never get them to do it.
Brenda, are you going to get your dog today?
So Boone is outside right now?
No, I think he's back in. What I did do is I took the magnetic screen door, and it's out there. So I'm kind of teaching him to go in and out through that.
Yeah. When he goes out and comes back and sits on the porch, let him sit on the porch. Because he's not, he'll let you know when he wants to come in. If the weather's good, he's good.
Let me see if I can see where he is. He's laying down in the living room on the couch.
$6 I'm gonna fly in a little while.
What's temperature?
56.
It's 52 here. Nothing to fly though.
So my daughter wants to know if I've ever seen a UFO. She said thought she saw one. She said, if it isn't a UFO or airplane, was it a drone? And if so, why was it flying over my house at 2:30 in the morning? Because they can. Yeah, watch. Because they can.
No, what you do is you say when a passenger liner flies over your house at 2 in the morning, are you upset about it?
Yeah. You got
You
a
don't-
video. What's it?
You don't own the airspace.
I got a better thing. Well, that wasn't an aircraft. That was not an aircraft. It was doing too many bounces.
UFO.
I'm telling watch this.
Does she live in New Jersey?
No, right here, watch.
On the border?
Brittany, the real question is why were you outside at 2:30 in the morning? I thought you stopped smoking.
Caught.
Busted. Watch this. Unless you were calling your boyfriend and you didn't want David to know.
Oh boy.
Y'all don't know me. I'll give her shit. She said she was star watching my ass.
That deserves an SMH. Shaking my head.
She said I was asking God and the aliens to come save our asses. Well, you asked too many people. All you needed to do was ask God. See, I don't pull any punches with them. But the video she took, I gotta see if I can get it bigger.
But is her hand steady or is it going around like this?
Well, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna send it to my email. I'm gonna look at it on the computer.
He's been quite vocal already. He just said Ontario and Canada will not back down until President Trump's tariffs are gone. Yeah. So chew on that. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Want to bring in Hugh Hewitt, who is gracious enough to join us this morning to help us sort it all out. How do you think about this? As this has really ratcheted up.
I ain't the one on it. Hey, Patrick's Day Parade preview. Yeah, they're getting ready for it.
Right.
So, report my plot back up quietly and quickly. Hugh, what's your take on, I guess, the financial damage of the two news? I mean, technology took it really on the chin yesterday.
Sent that to me.
And it's around the market. Tariffs are unsettling. The Democrats threatened to shutting down Democrat unsettled, as Dana mentioned in the last segment. And I think what we're going to see is that the markets will rebound once the Congress gets its act together.
Yeah.
Q, let's talk about the.
Oh, somebody's taking it off. There he is. It's flying.
Was that Brenda?
No. Right there.
From Columbia University.
Boy, that's a sweet drone, right, Lance?
Yeah. Well, y'all lie a lot.
Awesome drone. Awesome, I tell you. Okay, so that's the other.
He just took it off right from his hand and it just hovered right there inside.
It was purdy.
Yep. It was as stable as could be.
Okay, you know, I comb my hair. I comb my hair when I left for work.
That's an airplane. You can tell by the lights.
You know what? I need to watch it first.
And so it
Okay.
was her camera moving around, right?
Okay, I looked at that UFO you saw, and that's an airplane flying away from you. I could tell by the navigational lights. Yeah, it was her hand moving around.
Yep.
That's why I wanted to put it up here. And I'll show y'all. Oh, he's on. Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
Oh, he's big. I could do it. I could do it. Watch. There you go. Hold on. We lost it. Hold on. You can see it right there.
Yeah.
You can see all the navigational lights on it.
Now I played it. Now I'm gonna plug it in.
Yeah, it's her moving around.
She doesn't know how to zoom in with her cell phone or what?
No, that's about it. She didn't zoom in, but look, that's perfect. But you can see the lights there. You see the light on the tail on the top blinking.
Yeah, it's just that's a stable flight.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no drone. Now the other night when I came home, I can't remember what night it was. It was from one of the Hanning games around Christmas time. I saw something that did not look like an aircraft, and I was watching it on the interstate, and it was staying in the same place. That's what got me. It was staying in the exact same place, and it wasn't moving. And when I got to the house, it was still in the same place. And it wasn't moving, and I said, well, let me look at it real good. It might be a planet or something, but I could see a light flashing. And I said, well, it's got to be a drone, because I could see a light flashing, but it was on the top. But it never moved, and all of a sudden, I looked up, and it wasn't there.
Wow.
That's what I'm thinking. It was because I was getting stuff out the car. I looked back, and I looked for it. It was gone. I'm thinking he was flying somewhere in the neighborhood around me. And it looked like it was a big one, like a Matrice or something. Had to be big because of the size of it. She said it looked like a satellite, honestly. It's got blinking lights on it. Okay. He said because it looked like two airplanes connected in one. No, it was just your eyes are bad. You know, the one thing I'm hoping that we get to 70-degree weather. That's my Trace. Hey, they got me on it. I'm on it. Hey, hold on a minute. Hold on. This was. Hold on. I'm going back to this. I'm coming right back. Hold on.
Hey, Mark, I think Joe's gonna come back. Did you get that same feeling
What?
that Joe would return shortly?
Possibly.
Come here, Sassy. Hold on.
Got it. Yes. 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 Yes.
That's fun.
See if I can get this sent to me. I went and recorded it with my phone.
So you did your own alien encounter?
No, I'll show you in a minute. Look at what last thing. Yeah, it's gonna be too big to send that way. Let me try to cut it down. I looked up there and I said, hold on a minute.
I hear a Neo.
Yeah.
Lance must be flying again.
Yeah, I looked up at the TV. They were showing the St. Patrick's Parade, right? And I'm
Yeah.
looking at it and I said, that's up by Tracy's. Well, I was telling y'all, right? All of a sudden, I'm in the picture.
So I'm checking the audio. I tried to check the audio first, and checking the audio, checking the audio.
There it is.
And
See that? You see that, Joe? That's the way to fly a Neo right there.
he's gonna spin this around.
Good.
Get away from me a little bit.
Bring it over to the camera again. Lance, bring it over by the camera.
We're going to bring it over. Bring it over.
Hover over where your chair is there.
Ready to go out. And we go out to yonder and see what's going on. And we'll see what's going on out here. And turn it around. Turn it down. See what kind of traffic I get here. See if it still works. And just kind of making my way down the corner here and see what happens. I want to see if it's going to work or not. Where the audio is coming from.
What's Precious doing?
Where's the audio?
Begging for food.
And where's the audio here?
Yeah, it's like dinner time over there, isn't it?
She just had a treat, but now she just come back in again. And now she's
Here you go, Paul. Watch. They're showing it on television, right? St. Patrick's Parade.
Yeah.
And they show, this is up at Tracy's, but look, I'm right here.
Okay. We'll try this out here.
I'm right over in the corner. You see me sideways?
Oh yeah, but you got a bandana on.
Yeah. I was out there shooting pictures that day. That's old film.
Come on.
But that's right. That's the bar Tracy's right there. And I'm,
Well,
I'm right.
who's
coming
that
up.
hot honey that was walking in front of the?
I could not tell you.
I thought you knew all them girls.
That's just somebody in the parade. I don't know. But that's funny.
You're barking at me. I haven't got any film.
Whenever they show clips like that, I always see me in them. That's old footage. That was, God darn it, that's got to be. I almost want to say that's before COVID.
Really?
Yeah, that's an old clip. I don't have those pants anymore.
I don't
Still got
think
the
you wear
bandana.
green bandanas either.
I wear a green bandana for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, okay.
I wear different color bandanas usually. Like Mardi Gras got one that's Mardi Gras colors. Go back and see. I'm thinking that was either it couldn't have been 2000. It could have been 2020. Let's see. Because it was in March. It was early enough.
Trying the audio with the remote controller now.
It was before that. I know it was before that. We shut down. The eighth I shot Old Town. Let's go back. It's got to be before that. I'm telling you. Irish Channel Parade, 2019, 3/16.
Wow.
Yep. Let me see if that's the one by Tracy's. Yeah, because it's got Jennifer Jones in it.
So that's 6 years old.
Yeah, that was 6 years ago. Actually, that's not. That's not the year. Hold on. No, that's on. Let's see what is that. Yeah, it's got. No, I don't. I got to find a landmark. I can't find a landmark. We got to find traces in the background. That's the whole problem. No, that's not that year. Let's go back. Because that was on St. Charles when I shot that. I'm going to go back another year. Because I'm thinking it's way back.
She stays behind with the young man. He eventually hours later, Bill, at 8:52 a.m., and then she's reported missing at 4 p.m. later that day. Now, today officials expanding the search with drones, dogs.
No, that's when I didn't have my beard then. So see, I shaved the beard in 21 maybe. Be 22 at least. You see, it's got to go back. It's got to go back that far. Because I haven't shot their parade in a few years. Because like I said, it'll be the first time I've shot that parade probably in about 5-6 years.
He is anti-Israel, anti-American.
That could have been 16 or 17.
A judge has blocked the anti-Israel protesters' deportation while this trial is playing out. So he led a lot of what we saw on the campus of Columbia University.
Because those years I was out there really shooting.
You've interviewed him in the past.
I was shooting a lot more than I'm doing now.
He's pro-Hamas affiliation there. Fox News has learned that before Immigration Customs and Enforcement arrested Khalil for supporting a terrorist group, Khalil was previously investigated as a potential national security threat.
I wasn't out of breath back then either.
And a hateful post. on this. Harris Faulkner, you are in the Faulkner focus. The White House has been applauding a former Columbia student's apprehension. President Trump posted, "This is the first arrest of many to come, and we will find, apprehend, and deport these terrorist sympathizers from our country, never to return again." But many Democrats are on the side of Khalil.
Hey, Lance, you heard about the guy at Columbia University that they grabbed I think it's one of the professors.
Okay.
They grabbed yesterday for instigating all this stuff. And he's supposed to be part of Hamas.
The audio. Say that again, Joe?
Yeah, they arrested one of the guys in
No,
the
one of the
protest they
leaders.
have at
Yep.
Columbia. And he's from Hamas.
He's a
They
Hamas.
arrested him and they're revoking his green card and he's gone.
No, he's not. The court has stopped that until they decide whether or not he should be deported.
Well, that ain't good. They shouldn't be able to stop it. They're getting ready to change that too. The Supreme Court said that a random judge in the United States should not be able to make that kind of decision.
Yep.
So they're getting ready to change that too. So just keep effing around. You're gonna find out.
They cheered the news that he would not be deported yet. Some of those demonstrators, as you can see,
It should be for the good of the United States. Period. And that's Paracel's block party in 2018. It was 2018, Paul. That's what it was. I got the pictures now.
Alexis McAdams is at Columbia University, another day there and a new chapter.
See if I can find that hot babe. I probably got her picture.
That's right. White House posted telling Fox this morning that Khalil was being investigated and is still under investigation for being a threat to our national security. They say that investigators were combing through social media and found what they say were anti-Semitic and hateful comments that were posted on his pages. So that's kind of what started this. This comes, though, is now in federal custody, and we saw
She was marching next to a fire truck, wasn't she?
all across New York City, even leading to a couple of arrests. Watch this.
Here you go, Paul.
To the former Columbia grad student saying Khalil was leading activities.
Here's that fire truck, and here's her. There's the girl.
Oh, okay.
But you see how many people right there? And there's
Yeah.
actually barricades. They're on the wrong side of the barricade.
At the Ivy League school calling on Columbia to divest
Mm.
Israel. We know Khalil came to the United States from Syria 2 years ago, studying at Columbia School of International
Hey, Lance, this is why I go watch.
American citizen. who's
I go to shoot this.
as more people are calling for his release.
That's why I go shoot that parade.
Mhm.
On the First Amendment,
Never miss a good chance.
and it
This in New Orleans?
Yeah, that's in New Orleans.
But just last week,
I mean, New Orleans?
campus, Harris
Don't hurt my ears. Look at that.
in this video, okay? Now he's in an ICE facility in Louisiana.
Oh, look.
At Barnard in the first place. We're told he was trespassing because he's no longer a student. His attorney says he's healthy and his spirits are undaunted.
Looks like Jody got home.
He deported yet. Yet is the key word. There's going to be hearing tomorrow, so we're going to keep an eye on it. Also, we want to pull up this tweet too. They're calling for action.
Yeah, I'll get a lot of pictures like this during the day.
Telling students to walk out at noon today. So we're going to keep an eye if it happens here at Columbia University and at Barnard College, or hey, over at NYU, they've had the protests too. Back at her live.
That green beer?
Yeah, let me show you. This right here.
That's what I was looking at the beer, but
Yeah, okay. See, Tracy's, that's an an Irish place, right? And but you look at the people out here before the parade, just walking around, then they clear the street. If you look, there's barricades right there.
Oh, yeah.
They make them get on the other side. They make them get on the other side.
Jason Chapman's Fox News contributor.
Yeah, the green, white, and gold flag of Southern Ireland.
And that's all the officers in the Irish Channel Marching Club, Grand Marshals and everybody. So we got to get their pictures all the time.
Actually was around last year organizing some of those protests. I mean, this is so far.
So do the Orange Men get involved in that parade?
I couldn't tell you.
What is she holding between her knees?
She's holding that's a garter on her. That's a garter she's wearing. But she's holding a banner, that they march with.
Yeah, but look at
It's
right
a bit of-
between her. It's something stiff and long.
No, it's not. I
It's
knew
a
you were
shillelagh.
going there.
A
Yeah,
shillelagh.
but it looked like a stiffy.
No, I did not. Let's see.
Do they carry shillelaghs?
What is that?
You don't know what a shillelagh is?
I really don't.
It's a club, basically. It's like a twisted stick with a rounded end that they used to use in battle. Years
I
and
don't know. I'd have to look. I'll look next time. You see this motorcycle right here?
Yeah.
My uncle Dusty had one of those, right? He got it from a guy in the Shriners. And he had a Harley like that. Mint condition. I was 18 years old, and he tells me, why don't you come up to Houston, work with me for the summertime. I'll teach you the basics in plumbing so that you can become a master plumber one day. You'll make all kind of money. He said, at the end of the summer, when you go home, I'll give you the Harley. You can drive it home.
And you didn't do it.
Nope. Did not do it.
Well, we all have regrets in life, don't we?
And I
Yeah,
tell
yes.
kids, I say, if you don't go to college and you decide to start a career, you need to be a plumber.
Yeah.
They are paid the best. They have the best unions.
Yep. That's for David right there.
They think, okay,
Birdman.
he's telling me that I need to work on toilets. They get offended.
I'm telling you, it's all kind of money involved. What he started doing, remember when hot tubs started becoming popular? All the clubs, all the workout clubs in the area started putting hot tubs in. So he started hitting all these places saying, let me do the maintenance on these things for you. Come in and check them out and make sure everything's working right. If anything needs to be repaired, I'll repair them. So he had contracts all over Houston, Texas. And he had people working for him. He barely worked. He stayed home half the time. And these guys, he was worth a lot of money. A lot of money. And he's a master plumber and a mechanic. And he was actually in Houston at one point in time for Ford Motor Company. He was the head guy with transmissions. Because he could take a transmission in the daytime and rebuild it. That's how good he was. And he used to tell people, because he worked out of his house, he had a garage in the back where he could put 3 cars. He had the lifts and everything. And people would come to his house he said that it was the best prices in town for transmission repair when he got away from Ford, when he retired from Ford. And they come over, send him the tow truck would bring the car over, and he dealt basically with Cadillacs and Thunderbirds. That was the two cars that he emphasized. So the people had money. So he'd get a Thunderbird and he'd get it up on the rack, and he knew he was going to have to rebuild the transmission. He knew what it was as soon as he started to try to fool with it. So the people would come over and he'd say, this is the price it's going to take a week, like that. And he'd give them a crazy price, but it would be cheaper than everybody else. And he'd have them up on a rack. I went over there one time and he had 2 cars on a rack. And he had dates. He had a date hanging on a piece of paper from each one. I said, what's that for? He said, that's what I told him I'll have them ready. I said, well, are they finished? He says, no, I'll work on them tomorrow. He'd go out there, work on it, get it fixed and put it back up there. He said, if I put a little line on the bottom, I know I finished it. Like that. And I said, well, how long do you tell him it's gonna take us? I usually tell him about a week. I said, well, how long does it take? He said, if I get it in the morning, I can have it finished that day. I said, then why you tell him a week? He said, it makes it sound like it's worth more.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said, they think they're paying for a week's work. They're paying for me doing it one day. And he'd have 2 or 3 of them sitting out in a lot on the side of them that had to go in there, you know? I said, wow. That was something I should have went out and lived with him for about 6 months. And he knew what he was doing.
Connect closely now on Old Khalil and some instances on that campus led protest. If they are,
So,
what happens to any of us?
well, Paul, I'm gonna call it. I'm
Yep.
getting out.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
call it.
in-
Lance is getting ready for school, I would imagine.
He probably got a free hour right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I should probably get off as well, guys.
Okay, Mark. Hey, have a great day.
Back in it
Lance,
in.
Joe, we'll see you later on, right?
Back in it in.
Yeah, I should be back. I'm gonna
Okay.
go fly though. I'm going
Bye.
to fly somewhere.
Bye for